All right, it's on. So let's start. Okay, and first, thank you for your time, and just feel free to respond to my questions, and it will take 20 to 30 minutes, and as you can see, I will be recording it, and if you wish, I can send you a copy of this. So,
No, it's okay.
Okay, let's get started. So perhaps first I will need some general information and the backgrounds. So please just give me a brief introduce about yourself.
Okay. So I'm South African.
Okay.
I've been in China for 6 years.
Yeah.
I've specialized more in hotel openings and new projects.
Okay.
So I've worked with a few international brands. Currently I'm with Sofitel Kunming. I've been here for almost a year.
Yeah.
I did the official opening here. What can I tell you? My education, I did a hotel management diploma in South Africa, and I did my MBA through Lyon in Switzerland.
Yeah, that's amazing. In Switzerland. All right, and so first question is, how do you define cultural diversity?
How do I define culture diversity?
Yeah.
Cultural diversity. It's obviously people from different backgrounds, from different cultures working together. In an organization or in a team, and bringing different, how can I say, different cultures, different viewpoints to the organization or to the team. Is that what you mean?
Yeah. So just the culture diversity is something in your view. What is it? You mean how you see this thing, culture diversity itself?
You can look at it in two ways. In the hospitality industry, the international hospitality industry, cultural diversity is extremely important and very relevant, because in most hotels we have people from very various cultures working in the same team. These people have different backgrounds, these people have different expectations, these people have different values and goals, and as a leader, one has to be extremely sensitive and very knowledgeable on this diversity, because it can be very challenging and can be very problematic if it's not managed correctly. But also with it comes a very great opportunity if you understand, appreciate, and value the different cultures and what it brings to the organization.
Yeah.
For instance, when we talk about culture, a person from Chinese background might view service standards, guest satisfaction very differently to, say, a person from Germany or from France.
Yeah.
So it's important to understand what the cultural diversity, what the challenges are, but more importantly also what the opportunities are.
Yeah. And you just mentioned the challenge, and what's the three most challenging diversity issues facing in your company today?
Firstly, because we deal, again, just talking about our staff, our employees, the expectations, the understanding, first of all, of what hospitality is, what service is, what service standards are, And maybe, to give an example, maybe traditionally hospitality is not viewed as an elite or sought after career, say as banking or as investment in China. Whereas in Europe, in Switzerland and France, hospitality is very, very much viewed as a distinguished career. So that's the very first challenge we face. A lot of young people choose not to enter into the hospitality industry purely because in their culture it's looked down upon. To be as a service industry is looked down upon, although that is changing.
Okay.
Okay. The second is internally how these different cultures work with each other. So on a management level specifically, as different department heads or division heads from different cultures have very different viewpoints of how to manage their departments, number one, but also number two, how to interact, to communicate, and to cooperate with other department heads, other managers from different cultures. An example there would be traditionally in Asian culture, the whole face thing, you don't want to lose face. It's important to treat people with respect. Where, for instance, somebody from Australia or Germany is very upfront. They will, if they see something, they will immediately, they'll notice, they'll talk about it. It's very different, and that can cause a lot of problems, and that can cause a lot of friction between colleagues.
Okay.
And then thirdly, and just as important, is the way culture, the service culture is perceived from different cultural backgrounds, and how that affects the guest service, the customer service. For instance, somebody from Thailand, a hospitality employee from Thailand it's almost a very natural, the hospitality comes through very naturally and very easy. And they view guest service very different to, for instance, to that what you will experience in Europe once again, or in America, where service is not as refined, it's not as natural, and this can also cause a friction.
Okay.
So those are the 3 points. I think the main one is the different cultures, the expectations in the workplace. Number two, the cultures between different departments and communication, and then the cultural diversity issue between the guest and the employee.
Okay. And what kind of experience have you had working with other different backgrounds than your own, from a different culture and ethnic or religious backgrounds than your own?
Okay. Well, a good example was when I opened a resort, a hotel in Abu Dhabi.
Where is that?
Sorry?
Where is that place?
Abu Dhabi.
Yeah.
Let me type it for you. I'll just put it. You can look it up.
Yeah, got it.
Hold on 1 second. Okay. So when I opened this resort, we had our employees, we had 11 different nationalities, people from 11 different countries, all working, living, eating together. We had so many different religions. We had Muslim, Buddhist, Hindu, Christian, Roman Catholic, all working together from very different cultures from all over the world. So this challenging and also a very fulfilling project.
Yeah. Okay, and so there is another part of this conversation is employee defined the work environment. So the first question will be, how does your company define the diversity?
Oh, very much. Our core, the brand that I work for operates all over the world. If I'm not mistaken, in over 50 countries, in five continents, all five continents. So, although it is traditionally a French company with very French values and traditional French hospitality, we are really based and we are really true to our destination in which the hotel is. So although I'm in Kunming, the service standards here are very French-based, but with a local twist. And we respect and we appreciate the local culture and the local expectations and the local demands of both our employees and our guests.
Okay. So your company just to want to bring the brand culture into the current local market?
Yeah, it's both the brand culture, but also we like to celebrate the local culture, not just the French culture.
You mean mix them up?
Yes, to mix.
Okay. Okay, and what are the components of their definitions?
Say again, what are the?
What are the components of their definitions?
What are the components of the definitions?
Yeah, like the sexually original, face, race, like, you know.
Yeah, I think it's all that. It's first of all, it's nationality, and then within the nationality, you would find very different cultures, especially in China, which is such a big country. Even though people consider themselves Chinese, everybody's Hanzuren, but within that, there's very different diverse cultures. Like, for instance, somebody from Sichuan would have a very different culture and characteristics than, say, somebody from Dongbei, from Heilongjiang.
Yeah.
Shanghai people are completely different to, say, somebody from Urumqi. So even within the country and even within the province, there's different cultures, there's different expectations, of course, education levels, etc.
Yeah. And what are the different organization policy on managing cultural differences in the workforce?
We put a huge emphasis on managing this cultural diversity but also using it to our benefit, because we appreciate the value that different cultures will bring to our organizations. So we put a lot of emphasis on that, and it's important for us, and we celebrate it by, I'll give you an example, every once a month we will have a different cultural theme in our employees' restaurants. So the last one we had was a Sichuan theme, to celebrate the Sichuan culture, the Sichuan food, and appreciate the Sichuan people that work with us. Maybe the next one we will do maybe a Dongbei food festival. Even though it's very small, it's management way of saying, wow, we appreciate who you are, we value who you are, and we respect who you are and your culture.
Okay. And in what way does your company communicate its policy on working within a diverse workforce? workplace?
In how do we communicate it? Oh, on many levels. Through all our channels, we always respected different cultures. In the way the official communication channels, for instance, here would always be in both English and in Chinese. We also, wherever possible, we like to again celebrate these differences, the cultural differences. It's difficult to say exactly how we do it, but whenever there's interaction between management or management and employees, we take special care to appreciate the cultural differences.
Okay. And how are the policy developed and implemented, and at what level of the organization?
How are the policies implemented? Again, that's part, working in an international hotel chain or hotel brand. It's ingrained in every single one of our policies, and we do take exceptional care to make sure that we're very sensitive to the different cultures and backgrounds and nationalities. And you have to be, it's extremely important, because people like myself in International Atelier would stay only a few years in one destination and then move on to a different country and different culture.
All right. So, and next question is, where do you find the information about diversity policy at your company?
There's various ways. We have policies and procedures, and our standard operating procedures are quite very strong with creating these policies and procedures. Every employee has it in his or her handbook, the employee manual. We appreciate the different cultures. Every general manager also has policies and procedures from head office regarding cultural diversity. And then also we often have meetings and workshops where cultural diversity is praised and talked about.
Okay. And so, in what way, if any, does your company celebrate the following events, like Christmas or Ramadas, something like that? The religion.
No, we absolutely do. For instance, let me give you an idea. Let's talk about China. We in China. I'm based in China, so for us, we identify the really important national days and holidays, such as we just had the rice the rice dumpling festival. What is it called? The mooncake festival.
The 中秋节.
Yeah. Where we also involve all our stakeholders, and this would include our employees, our suppliers, our guests, and even the extended families, where we would have special celebrations, special events in both our staff canteen. We use different distribution channels such as WeChat, social media, to celebrate this, and to many of our employees are far away from home, they may be not with their families, so it's important that we we make them feel that they're still part of the celebrations, even though they're not at home.
Okay, that's sweet. And how are company policies apply in other locations?
It's very similar. Again, it's every hotel would have different, of course, different focus on depending on which area and which location they based in.
But as you just said, even in China, the different area have different cultures, and
Correct.
yeah, like one French brand hotel, how can it fit into the different parts of the different China? But based on a same basic culture base, but that's a little bit different. How you adapt it?
Well, you have to first of all appreciate the location that you're in.
Okay.
And if you go online and you look at the Sofitel, if you look at our logo, it's two links
Yeah.
that come together. And these links represent the traditional French elegant culture, but linked with the local warm hospitality of the community of the area that you're in. And we always mix this, no matter if it's in an island in the Maldives, or whether it's a hotel in Harbin, or whether it's a big hotel complex in New York. We always celebrate the traditional French elegant culture and hospitality with the warm, friendly, unique culture of the location, and that varies very much from area to area.
Okay. So I just think we finished the second part, and about to start the third part is the implementation of policy. So first question will be, what efforts does your company make to foster diversity, competence, and understanding?
Well, I think that it's first of all, whenever a new person joins our call, and whenever a new person joins Sofitel Kunming, they have to go through an induction process, which is a 3-day training workshop where they get exposed to the brand culture, the brand values, and during this, we pay a lot of attention to each individual of where they're from, and ask them to tell the other people in the group a little bit about their hometown, their culture, their food, and to make them feel that even though everybody is from a different culture, a different background, they should be proud of where they're coming from. And we pay special attention to this.
Okay.